Hello, gamers of the Game Report. There is a lot of stuff to talk about from the PBE. PBE is a public beta environment where they test new skins, visual updates, reworks, and new champions to make sure they're balanced and to make sure they don't break the server when they release them. So before I go into it, there's a lot of stuff in 3.13 on PBE. First few things is I'm running a RP contest right now, $50 of RP, 7,200 RP. All you guys have to do to enter to win is leave a like, leave a comment RP, and subscribe. Very simple. Now, if you've already been, or if you're already subscribed, then you only have to do the other two. Um, I'd appreciate if you guys go check out the Twitter for the Game Report. It's just the Game Report, same thing on Twitter. Maybe go follow us. We do tweet out when we make videos, and sometimes when we're replying back to comments that are asking questions about the champions or reworks and stuff. So now to get into this, I'm playing Jinx, and I go 18-2. It was one of the easiest games I've ever played, and it's because I started Doran Shield. Now to get into the actual PB stuff. So just to give you an overview of what's been updated, there's a Sivir visual update, a Rammus visual update, nerfs to ZYRA, AHRI, I believe they're planning some nerfs to Fizz and Cassidon as well. The Rammus texture update's pretty cool. There's also a Heimerdinger and Xerath rework, the Sivir visual update, and tons of balance changes. They also plan, if you guys have heard about it, they plan to release the vintage limited edition skins again. So basically, during Halloween, they're going to be releasing the Halloween 2010-2011 skins. During Christmas, they're going to release the Snowdown Showdown 2009-2010 skins. Winter Games as well, the 2010 ones. The World Cup 10 skins, 2010. And all those will be returned to the store for a limited time. They're again classified as legacy skins, but they're the vintage ones. Now to go into the update on each specific thing. So first thing is the Xerath rework. It's pretty interesting. So basically, after listening to everyone's feedback, they came up with that the passive should no longer grant armor and now grants percent magic penetration and restores mana on basic attacks. His Q can now be charged to increase the spell's range, mana cost, and damage slightly increased. His W is now a targeted AoE explosion that deals additional damage in the center and slows all enemies struck. Enemies in the center are slowed more. E is now a skill shot missile which stuns champions, and his R is a combination of Xerath's old W and R, which is pretty cool. So it immobilizes yourself to gain a super long ranged attack which deals magic damage each time you click the cursor for 3 seconds. It can do 4 shots now though. So as you see in my game, I'm already 1-0. We got our early first blood on the Caitlyn because Jinx is just so great, and I was really in the zone this game. Doran Shield allows me to be a little bit more aggressive in lane than normal, and I can actually bully a Caitlyn who's strong early game out of lane, or kill her completely. And you know, as I'm just last hitting, and this Blitzcrank was amazing. You'll see this amazing pull. He did great. Okay, now back to Xerath. Sorry about that. So their intent for Xerath was to ensure that Xerath's core pattern is fun and engaging, but his ultimate use is a rare, powerful, long-ranged attack. Where should we be focusing our feedback? So basically, ultimate, I'm particularly interested in feedback on Xerath's ultimate, and has a very unique control method that will take some getting used to. Now that's 3 kills for me already. Spell names. This is a unique opportunity to contribute your idea for what Xerath's spells should be called. I'll be reviewing EUNE, EUW, and NA for ideas. Range. Xerath's ult gives him ridiculous range. This is intended to be his strength. Please let me know how it feels, both as a user and victim. So leave comments below of what you guys think. Give us your feedback on each of these things. Relative power of abilities. I want to know if you feel like too much power is tied in a particular ability. Skin visual effects. His Battlecast and Runeborn skins have new colors. Provide some feedback on that. And his audio. How do his new abilities sound? Okay, so where we should not be focusing feedback is Molten Xerath. This skin has not been updated yet. Xerath's model. We did not overhaul his model, just add animations for the new Arcano Pulse and Ultimate Attack. There's a lot of stuff on Xerath. Xerath has been in development for a while, and we feel reasonably confident in his core abilities and visual effects. I do want to hear your concerns, but keep in mind we are not very likely to dramatically change Xerath's QWE visually. Xera, thank you guys. I'm looking forward to letting you see a few iterations of Xerath before he goes live. So that's why they released him on PBE. And he has this. Once the dust had settled and people got their hands on the new Xerath, Zelnath posted this update. Whoa, great feedback everybody. I'm really impressed you guys have put so much time and effort into the replies. A few bullet points. His R is too hard to dodge. I agree. At level 6 and 11, it's way too hard to dodge and hits too hard. We'll tune this back, so they're going to nerf the ultimate at the first 2 levels, probably keep it the same in the later levels. That said, he wants to try an experimental version of his ultimate on the PBE push, where you get more shots, but they hit for less. If this isn't satisfying, we'll revert it. E. Will not be making this targeted. I can consider letting it pass through minions, but then the stun will need to be much shorter at rank 1. There's a lot of value in this ability having the high damage single target save stun it has right now. As you guys saw, my first back a BF sword and pickaxe. That's like unheard of. I'm 5-0 while my friend is 2-0. He tried to tell me when I was 5-0 he was 3-0. Just trying to level the playing ground. I'm gonna show him this after and say, hey, look, you said you had 3 kills. What now? That's Notorious Ninja. He has a YouTube account and Twitch. If you guys want to go check him up. Alright, so he does agree that he misses having a way to clear and stun a backline target, but short of tuning his E into a W style AoE stun, I don't feel there's a clear win here that isn't extremely frustrating. And he's excited you guys love the rework so much, this makes him beam with pride. So, this is ridiculous. Okay, and he also commented on an old iteration of the ult. It originally fired 30 shots in about 2 seconds. Very cool ability, but was too visually disruptive to work. Agree that if we go with the limited number of shots, we need to convey more power and weight to each blast, which is kind of what they did now. And as you see, after I bought 2 items, another 2 kills. I'm 7-0. I think I made it to 11-0, then got my first death, or 15-1 or something, I think it was. And then I got 18-2 because I turret dove. Now I'll go into the next champ. Heimerdinger Rework. Basically, he gets 3 towers again, which is amazing, and I'm really excited to play this. He's out on the PBE right now, and I can't wait till they push this to live. So, Heimerdinger is ready for PBE. PBE is ready for Heimerdinger. It is time. Heimerdinger players have done an excellent job of showing us what makes them passionate, and our goal with the rework was to make those elements more interactive. To that end, reinventing the revered inventor meant adding depth of play to all of his active skills. Heimerdinger's new tools are loaded with opportunities to express skill, both in ability mastery and in overall strategy. He has a tendency to recover from his failures and the power to define the game with his successes. From his first tinkering to his 50th victory, Heimerdinger's power scales with creativity. Passive, tech-metrical repair bots. Heimerdinger gives nearby allied champions and turrets bonus health per regeneration per 5 seconds. That's just like his old passive. His turrets. Wait, let's just make sure this is the reworked one. Okay. His turrets. Places a turret at target location. Turret attacks and beams prioritize Heimerdinger's targets and enemies attacking Heimerdinger. Their health increases with Heimerdinger's champion level, and they shut down 8 seconds after he moves out of the area. There's no more leaving a turret and walking away. Wow. Heimerdinger generates a turret kit every 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, respectively, at each level, modified by cooldown reduction, obviously, and can hold up to 1 turret at level 1 and 2, 2 turrets at level 2, 3, and 4, and 3 turrets at level 5. Mana cost 20, cooldown 1. Now, his turret stats are 150 health plus 25 per champion level. Attack, cannon, there's 2 shots now, which I think I explained in a previous video that was 10 minutes about Heimerdinger's rework coming out, because I already knew what was going to happen. 15 damage, 22, 29, 36, 42 respectively, with a 0.125 AP ratio, and it's magic damage. His beam, on the other hand, is 50, 75, 100, 125, 150 at the 5 levels respectively. 0.5 AP ratio, magic damage, and it's a skill shot. It has a 12-second cooldown. Maximum turrets, 3. W. It's the Hextech micro rockets, so now instead of it locking onto someone, it's a skill shot that shoots 5 rockets in a barrage that converges to your cursor. Each rocket will deal 60, 90, 120, 150, 180 with a 0.45 AP ratio. Magic damage again. Enemies that are hit by more than one rocket take 20% magic damage for each additional rocket. Wow. Max 105, 160, 215, 270, 325. Minions take 60% instead. So this skill, if you hit more than one, it does even more damage. And I was talking about in that old video how overpowered the rockets are going to be, because I'll explain after with the ultimate. It's kind of broken, and that's what's going to happen. Targeting the rockets closer to Heimerdinger increases their spread. Mana cost 70, 80, 90, 100, 110. His E, CH1 Electron Storm Grenade. Hurls a grenade that deals 60, 100, 140, 180, 220, plus a 0.6 AP ratio, magic damage to enemy units, and slows their movement speed by 35% for 2 seconds. Enemies in the center are also slowed for 1.25 seconds. So they took off the blind and made it a slow. Kinda like this. I like it better, because it's going to be easier to catch people and actually help your team a bit more in team fights. While the blind was, if they go all out, hey, I can blind their AD carry and stop that damage. But if you're chasing, it kind of doesn't really help. It's so hard to hit the stun, technically, unless they're right on you or if you ulted for it. His upgrade for his R. Heimerdinger's next basic spell is free and has bonus effects. So if you do the turrets, it places a turret that deals 90, 110, 130 plus a 0.33 AP ratio magic damage with its cannons. And then his beam is 225, 300, 375 with a 0.8 AP ratio. So basically, it allows you to place one turret. Back when they were talking about the Heimerdinger rework, they said, well, you'd be able to place all 3 turrets in a fan position around you. And that was kind of OP. So they figured, hey, give him 4 turrets, I guess. That's the concept here, is you get 4, because you could have the 3 regular Q, and then the ulti's extra turret, or it's just a replacement for one of them. Hextech Rocket Swarm fires 4 waves that deal 135, 180, 225 magic damage each. If you guys don't understand this, it's 4 waves of 5 rockets, which is 20 rockets, and they do 20% increased magic damage if you hit a person with each rocket. Now, champions and monsters hit by multiple rockets take reduced damage, though. That's how they balanced it, where I didn't see this before. It's a max of 550, 750, 950. CH3X Lightning Grenade is the one you activate the R on the E. Throws a grenade that discharges 3 times, dealing 150, 200, 250, 0.6 AP ratio magic damage each time. Both the stun and slow areas are larger, and the slow is improved to 80% from it was 35, so it doubles with 10 extra. And they also increase the stun radius, so it's a lot easier to hit instead of speeding it up in midair. Our goal with these changes is to give Heimerdinger the tools he needs to keep being Heimerdinger, while making him a deeper, more satisfying champion to play as and against. The essence of Heimerdinger is very well explored by his passionate fan base, and happily has nothing to do with the elements that made him toxic, a pattern of non-engagement and low skill differentiation. So they basically raised his skill cap. The Caitlyn was like, I could either walk into your traps and die anyways, or I could try to fight you, and she chose to fight. So now I'm 12-0. Isn't this a great game? Oh my, no, not 2 of them. No, oh Blitz, what are you doing? You're still chasing? The Tryndamere stopped? You're dead. Okay, for instance, auto-aiming rockets feel good but can't play with the other guy in creep waves. Switching that to a variable rocket shotgun skill shot lets Heimerdinger do more cool things while giving the other guy a chance to play too. The Revered Inventor is a challenging theme to get right, but any good blueprint rests atop a mountain of crumbled almost theirs. We've learned a lot from the journey and from feedback players have given us on earlier iterations. Heimerdinger is stronger for it. It's our hope that this time on PB we'll polish him even more. One last thing. Raise your turrets! So there was a little bit more that they added just to explain each ability, but yeah, I don't think I'll go into it. Let me just go over this quickly. they're just talking about how they're going to update each ability after on the thing. Now, they did talk about ZYRA here, so I'll get into that. Another player suggested to remove the health bars from Heimerdinger's turrets and replace it with a time bar found on wards. So, it's kind of like how ZYRA's seeds are, where you hit them 3 times and they die, but it would create more dangerous situations for Heimerdinger if we did that, because that's like his whole thing, is Dinger has to have turrets. Yeah, it would be a big problem. They couldn't do that. They have to give them actual health bars that scale with your level. And people were worried that Heimerdinger would be using his turrets as wards, but you can't do that anymore because of how they won't shoot when you're not in the radius. So now to get to the next thing. So that's Xerath and Heimerdinger that we've discussed. Now I'll discuss the few nerfs that happened. It's pretty easy. They changed how some of the attack speed slows work. They changed how Malphite and Gragas's attack speed slows work, and the Warden's Mail and Randuin's Omen. They've been updated a lot because their movement speed and attack speed slows. Okay, and let's see here. AHRI got nerfed, so basically, they wanted to nerf almost everything about her, because the reason for this nerf is because in the Worlds, she was almost played or banned every single game. There was only maybe like 2 games where she wasn't picked or banned. So Charm has had its many mana costs changed to a flat amount at all levels, higher at lower levels, lower at max level, but now increases the magic damage AHRI deals to the target, so it acts like a Deathfire Grasp. Essence Theft now heals her for a specific amount based on the number of enemies she hits with her passive enhanced spell, as opposed to getting straight spell vamp. Foxfire now deals less damage when every wisp hits the same target, and now counts as an area of effect damage source for the purposes of spell vamp and Rylai's Crystal Scepter. Spirit Rush, her ultimate, base damage and rapier ratios have been reduced in addition to having its use time limited, or reduced. So basically, instead of having like, I think it's 20 seconds in between each R, you have like maybe 5, so they nerfed everything. Makes her a more well-rounded champion, I think. They did some Corki nerfs because Corki was a big, huge contender since the new Trinity Force buff that had went through. So Corki's base attack speed has been reduced. Additionally, missile barrages base damage has been reduced at earlier ranks, while the cooldown between missile shots has been increased. The cooldown between missile shots can no longer be reduced by cooldown reduction, but CDR will still affect how quickly you can gain missile ammo. So it's kind of like when you have Heimerdinger turrets, and I'm going back to Heimerdinger, when you have cooldown reduction, it doesn't let you place the turrets quicker, it lets you get the actual stacks quicker. Kind of like Teemo as well. His shrooms don't get placed sooner. They get, you get more stacks quicker. The cooldown for getting stacks is quicker. Okay. Or less, sorry. Jarvan 4. This change forces Jarvan to be more accurate with his Demolishing Standard Dragon Strike combo while giving opponents some breathing room when trying to dodge it. So moderately reduce Jarvan's knock-up collision radius. Leona. Similar to the mana cost changes we've made to other higher skill ultimates, Leona's next in line. She got her ultimate's mana cost reduced to a flat amount at all levels, significantly lower than max level mana cost. Master Yi, mana cost reduced to a flat amount on his W at all levels, significantly lower than max level mana cost. So they're buffing Master Yi because he's not played very much and he's really hard to play, and that's why we didn't see him in Worlds. Morgana, she got nerfed. She no longer reduces magic damage per tick on her W. Instead, it deals additional damage based on an enemy's missing health. Morgana should deal roughly the same amount of overall damage, although there will be variations due to how her new Tormented Soil works. It's not really a nerf, it's more of just a change around to make it more effective to higher health champions instead of doing it to low magic resist targets. Rengar. Rengar's leap out of stealth has insufficient warning for his target, so we changed him to D-stealth at the beginning of his leap instead of throughout its duration in order to give his target a fighting chance. So they think that Rengar's too strong with his ultimate right now. That's probably his winning ability. So what they'll do is nerf that and probably buff something else in a later patch. Shen. Shadow Dash has had a fairly large start and end radius to make the spell more forgiving to land. We no longer believe this is necessary as it makes Shadow Dash a bit too easy to land in those situations. So his collision radius has been reduced at the start and end points of the dash. Soraka had the ultimate reduced, mana cost reduced, just like Leona. I guess, because later in this I'm going to be telling you how ZYRA gets nerfed, and so they're trying to allow people to play different supports in the bot lane, like Soraka and Leona. Swain's passive was changed. Carry On Renewal now restores a percentage of Swain's maximum mana on champion kill assist rather than a flat amount. This will allow him to keep up his mana pools in late game teamfights without having to get the Athenes and Holy Grail. Syndra. Syndra has had a number of usability improvements made to her abilities, where Scatter the Weak now indicates where a Dark Sphere will travel, and Unleash Power will indicate how many Dark Spheres will be fired. So you guys get that right? That's easy, don't need to explain it. Teemo, Noxious Trap, that's his ultimate, fixed a bug where Noxious Trap gave experience on death. Wow. Tryndamere, we are trying to reduce the mobility of Tryndamere so he can't just safely split push all day. We did, however, want him to keep his mobility high in teamfights, so we made spinning / only reduce in cooldown when he critically strikes champions. Ooh. Victor. Similar to the Soraka change, they reduced the mana cost of his ultimate. Ammo Plague on Vladimir fixed a bug where this ability sometimes prevented casting of Transfusion and Tides of Blood for longer than the spell's 0.5-second cast animation. Ziggs, I'm not sure what they did to him, I'll read it. They increased the short fuse max damage. They made the bouncing bomb have a longer range. When cast outside of max range, it will fire in the direction but only travel 850 range. Satchel Charge, its radius is increased. Hexplosion Minefield does not do decreased damage on multiple hits to minions. Damage radius per mine increased. Wow, they're just buffing him like crazy. Now deals double damage to minions for his ultimate. I got stupid there. I was just trying to end it. And then my friend comes in and starts cleaning up. He's like, I'm going to get a triple kill. And he dies as well. That amazing pull by the enemy Blitz. ZYRA. Here's the big one. ZYRA. Deadly Bloom's damage has been reduced, but her AP ratio has been increased. This is to a little bit like lessen her strength in the bot lane. Rampant's growth, passive cooldown reduction, and early damage has been reduced, but its damage at later levels and range has been increased. So she's more of a late game teamfight champion, which is exactly what we see ZYRA's made for. Not the early game harass in lane that zones out the enemy AD carry to where they can't even lane. We've also improved ZYRA's overall usability with enraging plants and transforming seeds into plants by spells. Pretty cool. There were some Crystal Scar changes. Not sure if you guys care. Crystal Scar and Twisted Tree Line items changes. Don't really care that much. And end notes. As for the change to attack speed slows, it's creating consistency with slows in general. When asked if this means you will cleanse slows from something like Frozen Heart, I'm assuming that aura slows operate on a consistently rebuffing mechanism, so maybe you can cleanse Frozen Heart's attack speed debuff, but it didn't. It get immediately reapplied. It's not like Frozen Heart applies debuffs only once as you get into aura range. When asked about Evelynn not getting one of those cool screen dims when she's stealth, he commented, I've been told no because stealth is actually her natural state, and introducing a screen tint for that would make a very odd experience. Not to mention she has a number of indicators when she's out of stealth, in stealth, so we left her alone. We asked about Jungle Tryndamere being nerfed as a result of his E changes. Jungle Tryndamere, I'll ask about it. When asked about more Shyvana changes, Shyvana is a product of her environment, changing drastically and in ways that almost always support her. On that note, I think we're holding off for now on Shyvana changes, but can't really commit to anything yet. That means she's getting nerfed. Reworked. She's gonna be like Master Yi. There's not much more for this gameplay to show you, so I'm not sure if I should go into... Here, I got an idea. I'll pull up the Sivir rework for you guys to see. So this is Surrender at 20. This is the Sivir rework with some of Xerath in there. If you notice, so that's her dance, that's her throwing her Q, that's just her standing. Her ultimate, her W bouncing off minions, and that's her in front of an enemy. So this is basically showing you all the different visual updates of each ability, skin, and everything. Now this down here on Surrender 20 is showing you all her different skins that were reworked. 2 of them weren't reworked, but as you see here, there's Spectacular, which is the 4th one, Pax, Amazon, and I don't remember the other two. If you guys remember, please leave a comment below. This would help a lot. There's a few more stuff that I have to show you guys. I'll get to that in a sec. The Rammus texture update here. I'll pull this up. It's pretty cool. The Sivir also got some ability reworks for like ability icon reworks, so they look cooler. Now this page is gonna scare you guys for how much stuff I have to show you. I'll scroll to the top. So this is regular Rammus now in game. Looks freaking amazing. He looks a lot better, a lot more detailed, a lot more textured. Chrome Rammus. Like, this is awesome, right? Molten Rammus, Freljord Rammus, Ninja Rammus, King Rammus, that's his model. And I want you guys to leave comments of what you guys think about it and if you think it's better. This is some of Heimerdinger's general visuals. So this is when he potions up with health pots and mana pots. This is when you level up on Xerath, it's different. There's a video, the pop-up you get when you get gold. This is for Heimerdinger. This was in Dominion, obviously. Slows. Do you see how the slow looks now? They changed it. They added new textures for slows. And these are the new summoner icons. Quite awesome looking. Not sure what they're for yet, though. I guess Vilemaw. That's the person from... Anyways. New challenger tier loading screen borders. Pretty damn cool, this one. And they're bringing back the old vintage skins. Sivir visual update with the new ability icons. This is amazing as well. Heimerdinger Rework that I talked about already. The Heimerdinger in-game, so that's what his rockets look like. That's what his skill shot looks like. You can shoot it closer to you, get to get them to aim out properly. This is in the first picture. That's how it looks when you shoot it, and then you could shoot it in a straight line. There's also his turrets. So this is when you're in range. This is when you get out of range. They're not working anymore. Xerath Rework I talked about. His abilities. Every nerf that I talked about. Pretty damn amazing. I'll check if there's anything else I missed for you guys. And yeah, that's about it. So then it was just the Sivir was finally put on PB. And I showed you guys the pictures of that. I really hope you guys enjoyed the video and the gameplay. I went 18-2, did really well, and enjoyed Jinx a lot. Maybe she should be nerfed. I've checked the stats for her. Her damage dealt is higher than the average by 40%. Her gold per game is 14% higher than average per game. Her kill death ratio is higher than average by 50%. So it's huge numbers here, and they may need to look at Jinx and nerf it a bit. The overall OP part about her, I believe, from me playing her, is the Q. Everything else feels balanced, but they might change the range on the second Q. Hope you guys enjoyed, and if you didn't remember to enter the contest, don't forget to. Hope you guys enjoyed. Again, I'll see you next time I make one of these amazing videos. I do have another gameplay to show you guys. I'm excited for it.